The saga of Birthright continues. A war is ending and the government controls our minds. This week
on Top of the Stack.
Thank you for joining us for this week's Top of the Stack, our weekly comic review where we bring you our favorite comics this week from the week of December 9th, 2015. We're going to start off this week with a little image comic called Birthright.
All right. So this week, Birthright. We finally get to catch up with a couple characters who I feel like we haven't seen for an issue or two. Or maybe I just have a terrible memory. I don't know. His
girlfriend and his mom?
Yeah. So we get to see Mikey and Brennan's mom. And they are still with Mikey's baby, or she is still with Mikey's baby mama. And they're on an adventure trying to find Mikey and Brennan's. And we also get to see their dad in prison. Which, did we know that he was in prison?
I don't know.
I don't feel like we did. So I think that was something newly introduced. And, but aside from that, this comic, I feel like it has slowed down a lot.
I feel like it slowed down quite a bit after the first arc. And then we got that last issue that was really good. Where we went to Terranos and got to see all the crazy stuff. And it almost is like, you wanted that you're back in this world, and it just seems so boring and like our own life.
Is that it though?
There wasn't any magic. There wasn't any. They had that one twist at the end of this issue.
Yeah, there is a twist.
But I just don't think that's a good enough twist.
I know.
Really, I think for that to really be a good twist, I'd have to go reread the entire thing and think of this character as that, and kind of like Star Wars and Darth Vader. Like,
yeah, see where it began.
Looking at it differently from a different angle, but I don't think it was a good enough twist to warrant like
this issue as
something amazing. But,
right. So with this issue, I mean, we kind of get a peek at everybody and see what they're up to, and that's basically all it was, except for like the last couple pages, and like we just said, it wasn't
pretty uneventful.
Yeah, it was really uneventful. This is kind of pulling me down on this comic. I don't know if it's worth reading forever and ever and ever if this is how it's going to go. So, for that reason, I'm giving it a Michael Keaton, just because I like the art.
I thought you were going to say, and for that reason, I'm out. Like Shark Tank.
Oh, yeah!
That's what it sounded like. I'm right there with you. I didn't feel any, like, oh, shit moments in this at all. Like, there's nothing that really moved anything anywhere, in my opinion. I mean, we got the mom and the girlfriend together. We got the dad in prison. We got the twist at the end, and we still have the brothers together trying to find this thing. Like, we're still doing the same thing that we've been doing.
Yeah, and what issue was this, 12?
12.
So let's move it along.
Yeah, I'm also going to give this one to Michael Keaton as well. It was a slow week, so it did make it on the top of the stack. Art is always good, though. Yeah. It's always drawn well. I really like it. But this week, the story was just lacking.
It really was.
So for this week, Birthright number 12 by Joshua Williamson, Andre Bresson, and Adriano Lucas is getting a Michael Keaton from Geek'd. Now, we got the final issue of a Brian K. Vaughan book called We Stand on Guard. And We Stand on Guard number 6, drawn by Steve Scroce, colors by Matt Hollingsworth. This was the final act, not what I was looking for.
Oh my gosh. I was concerned that that this was like your favorite thing.
No.
And I was going to have to pull you down.
Yeah, it was basically a simple war story. America invades Canada for resources, water. Makes sense. Interesting twist on war. You know, we're used to oil, something we need, but we have it here.
We always think water is so like
everywhere,
resourceable. Yeah,
exactly.
Like if we can get it anywhere.
So it's a pretty simple story that I'm expecting to go somewhere crazy. And it's got a very clear, generic ending. Someone wins, someone loses. There's no twist. There needed to be a twist.
And it wasn't even like, hurrah, they won. It was like...
No, it was like, oh, we won. Let's relax and just prepare because it's coming again at some point.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. And also
really
those
wasn't.
final pages, flashback.
Okay.
What does that have to do with anything, and why do I care? Like,
I know.
And I hate to say this because I love him as a writer. Saga is one of the best written things I've read in comics.
Yeah.
Why the Last Man? Like, a lot of stuff, Paper Girls, like, a lot of stuff he writes is really good. This, wow, what a bummer.
It really was.
Yeah.
Maybe he's just better at writing the long-term stories, or maybe this was meant to be a long-term thing and he had to end it, or something weird. I don't know, but this just felt rushed, or like they ran out of ideas, and they
didn't run out of ideas. It was planned as a 6-part miniseries. Like, this was a planned out story, and this is how it was supposed to be. And if you remember, if you look back, we've had all of them on Top of the Stack. And 4, we were like, I don't know, but it's the last 2 are coming. They're going to be really good. And the last one kind of had that twist where they're face to face with each other, about to go, shit's about to go down. So you're like, whoa. No. What happens in that scene is what you would think would happen, but that's it. That's probably what would happen in real life.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's like you take these futuristic, major, huge robots, and you just put it in a boring story.
In our time now, where like, I mean, there was like no imagination, really.
Yeah.
So
really, the art in this is what drove this story. If it wasn't for the cool ships and the cool robots and the blood and the gore and the lush environments and things like that, the story wouldn't have held my interest for 6 issues. I don't think. I think I liked looking at it. I thought Brian K. Vaughan was going somewhere because I'm used to reading his stuff. It just didn't pay off. Yeah. You agree?
I definitely agree.
So we agree. I am giving We Stand on Guard number 6 a Michael Keaton.
I agree.
Series as a whole, I'm going to have to go with Michael Keaton as well.
Yeah.
Like, there were some issues in there that were...
The first couple issues were really good.
Really good issues. Thought this was going to be a home run again. However, not.
Fell short.
Yeah. So We Stand on Guard number 6 by Brian K. Vaughan, Steve Scroce, and Matt Hollingsworth is getting a Michael Keaton from Geek'd Up. Which leads us to our last review of the day. It is an Image Top Cow number 1, written by Matt Hawkins, art by Raphael Ienco, and it is called Symmetry number 1. This one, man, this kind of started out...
This is right up your alley.
Yeah, this started out like We Stand on Guard.
Yeah.
So I'm a little worried here. Like, are we going to run out of steam? But I do know he's the writer of Postal. He writes intriguing stuff that lasts. Yeah. Postal, to me, has never gotten stale. There's always something in there that's keeping me going. Right. And this issue, right out the gate, the premise is perfect. Yeah. Like, it's a utopian society. Everybody's happy. The reason for this is there is something called the System Optimizer. It's SOL, and it controls everything, and everyone has an artificial intelligence in their brain that communicates with this network and makes them have no ambition. They're not different in any way. There's no creativity. There's no money, I guess. There's really no... All robots do all the labor. Yeah. So it sounds, in theory, I don't have to work. It's
like a life of leisure. Yeah. Is what it sounds like. But then, at what cost?
That's what we're going to find out later on. Yep. I just think, it starts out with the narrator. His name's Michael. His brother is running from something. He ends up getting killed, and then... It's kind of him narrating his life up into the point of the end of this issue. Right. And what we're about to see. So there's no individuality. There's no love. There's no independence. What did you get out of this?
Well, first of all, I liked that it showed what it was like growing up. Like, as you're born, you don't have a gender, which I thought was interesting. And then once you're like, 13, you get to pick your gender and your name.
Yeah.
So this whole time, these like 13 years they're alive, they are, this
They're
is
learning.
how, like, but this is how this society is. Like, they're totally equal. Nobody's different. Like, it's just weird. But anyway, it reminded me of Divergent.
See, that's what I was thinking. Or even, because they get to pick.
They get to
That's
pick.
That's what it was.
It was basically
I was thinking Hunger
like
Games,
that.
but yeah, it is that. It's Divergent.
And so it's kind of a spinoff of Divergent, but I think this is going to be, obviously more interesting just in that aspect, with picking.
The genders and no love. And it goes into like the couples aren't even ever together that long because their specific point in being together is
to reproduce. Yeah. But I really feel like this was a good issue. It's one I know I'll keep reading it, and I know you will, because as soon as I read like the first few pages, I'm like, oh my god, this is like Corey's thing.
Yeah, it's like right up my sci-fi
yeah.
with just a bizarre, like 1984, like that book. It's kind of makes you think, like, is this a good thing?
Right.
Is this the beginning of, and it gets to, at the end of this, something happens, it destroys this system. I'm not ruining anything because that's basically the premise of this concept.
Right.
It brings down the infrastructure that runs this entire AI system, and our main character, Michael, is feeling love for the first time. Now, is this like the beginning of the end? Is this the destruction of society, or is this just the beginning? Because they did all this to get rid of violence,
right.
to get rid of this. But are these people really living? I hope it dives into these real questions to make me want to keep going.
Yeah. And then if you really think about it, not saying it is, but it's almost like a God thing. Like, is God not happy with how the earth is, so he destroys it with how it is destroyed?
Yeah.
It was like a natural thing that the...
Well, I think there's a woman at the end. I think she may have something to do with this.
Yeah.
Like maybe she was never affected by whatever it is. But I'm also curious, are the higher ups, do they have feelings? They have, I mean, I feel like they would have to create this and manage it.
Yeah.
So that's another curious thing is there this whole nother like Hunger Games, the rich, are they living this lush life, like doing what they want to do while these mindless people?
Yeah, like what even is the point of living that way?
But that's the thing. They are happy. He dreams really good dreams, and he gets to see him again, and he's so excited. And so I don't know. I really want to get into this. My only issue with this series in general, it's $3.99. $3.99 a issue.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That is ridiculous. Like, what is happening in comics these days? Like that is seriously something that will make me not read this thing that I think I would love, and just go, no, I'll get the trade paperback if it's affordable.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna try one more issue. Maybe they'll drop the price. Maybe that was an introductory rate, but usually, I don't know if it was a bigger issue or not. It didn't feel like it, but hopefully it drops in price. Because if after the second issue it doesn't, I'm out, and I'm going trade paperback because that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So.
But I also
yeah.
want to mention the art was really...
Yeah, it was different.
I liked it a lot.
It was almost painterly.
Yeah. It looked like so real, though.
Kind of like Savior.
Yeah.
But a little more not so not so brushstrokey.
Yeah, it was good. And I like the font that they used.
Yeah, the lettering.
The lettering,
the robots and the everything. Yeah, it's really good. It was good. It was really good. I'm going to take my thoughts on the price out of this because it would drop it significantly. I think it's horseshit that a book like this costs that much money. But the story alone, Symmetry #1, I loved it. I'm giving this one a Ben Affleck.
I'm going to go with a Christian Bale. I liked it, but I'm not like...
Yeah.
But I do really, really like it.
Okay, so Symmetry #1 by Matt Hawkins and Raphael Ienco is getting a Ben Affleck and a Christian Bale from Geek'd Up. And that is it this week for Top of the Stack. We have no honorable mentions. It was a small week. A lot of bummers are in there. And this one amazing one, in my opinion.
Yep.
So let us know what you thought of these reviews. What did you pick up? What would you like us to review next time? Make sure you give us those thumbs up and subscribe.
You can find us on Vine, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Be sure to get the conversation going.
And we'll get back to each and every one of you. But until then,
stay geeked up.
And always hug a xenomorph.
Always.